Hi guys, on this show we're looking at Robinson, Quinn, Burns, Shatner, Bergen, Bratt, Caine and Bullock. We're looking at 2000's Miss Congeniality.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. My name's Planty and you wanna hug me. I know you love me.
No, I don't.
Aww, dick.
And I am the other guy, and I am literally a Miss Congeniality, which is somebody that's got a nice personality, which is suggesting me that I'm ugly.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because when I kind of wrote it down, I was like, are they suggesting that Sandy B's bogging? Because I've got to be honest with you, listeners, I'm not buying it.
She ain't.
Woof, am I right?
Well, I wonder what we're doing this week.
Oh, yeah. We're the podcast tries to learn 100 things from everything we cover. Of course, as I said, I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty. He's John, and this week we are talking about the film that John just gave away, and a fact that he gave us.
Need to take that one off the list.
John, what year was Miss Congeniality?
What year? The year 2000.
Okay, not much has changed. Well, everything's changed. It's been 24 fucking years, mate.
Yeah, and some parts are underwater. Right.
Oh, shit. I mean, Carlisle, mostly, yes.
So what you could have been looking at, right, so we'll start off with the ones that you should be listening to anyway. So we've done the road trip, which was fine.
Oh, the road trip, yeah.
It's The Cell, which I want to watch again, because everybody keeps saying...
We watched it about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's fucking brilliant.
Is it good?
It's so good. Yeah, in my mind, I'd remembered it as being like shitty,
Party.
you know, like...
Aye.
Yeah, like a bit like...
I thought it was like a Damien Hirst piece. I mean, just all art and...
No.
It's worth a watch then.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, it's really... I'm not going to say it's fun, because that's the wrong thing, but yeah, it's good.
Good. Traffic. We're looking at... Well, Sexy Beast. We've already done Sexy Beast. Mm-hmm. You know it.
Oh, yeah.
Chopper.
Oh, Chopper's good. I mean, it's not an episode, but it's good.
The Eric Bana one.
Yeah.
Eric Bana.
It's me, Eric Bana.
Yeah. Loser.
Mm-hmm.
Loser.
Yeah. Teenage Dirtbag. I'm aware of his work.
That's the one. Dude, Where's My Car? Which I actually quite enjoyed when it first came out, but never watched it. It annoys the hell out of me.
And then... is that racist? Yeah, I think maybe.
Look at me. Proof of Life and Gladiator, both with Russell Crowe.
Proof of Life I hate, Gladiator I love.
Is that because, is that when Meg Ryan done it?
They sold me gay giraffes! That's why. Amongst other reasons.
And Keanu Reeves' The Watcher.
I don't know what that is.
What? I
don't know what that is. What's that about?
He was a baddie. I think the title gives it away.
All right.
So somebody that just sits there watching.
Watching The Matrix. I've seen it, mate. It's not that good. Jesus. Anyway, look, we're the podcast tries to learn 100 things from every film. We've already started with one, so let's see how we get on tonight. If you like what we do, please follow us on all the socials. You just need to go to 100thingswelearnedfromfilm.co.uk. That's 100thingswelearnedfromfilm.co.uk for all of our links. And there you can also find our Patreon, where if you give us £1 a month, you will get a shout-out. I've tried to be a little bit different again this week with the shout-outs. It's atrocious, I'm going to be honest, but at least... You know, I want that cake from Bart. At least you tried. That's what I want. Right. So, yeah, I've tried something. But, yeah, give us £1. We'll give you a shout-out. And later in the month, you will get the opportunity to vote probably on our last episode of the month by looking at what we're doing coming up.
Yep, definitely.
Fantastic. I think that's everything. If you like this nonsense, and I know you've only just started to listen to this, if you do like this nonsense, I'm back with Tom for everything we learned from The Simpsons, our Simpsons-related version of this. So feel free to give that a listen wherever you get your podcast. And we're doing Krusty Gets Cancelled, so it's lots of British ventriloquist chat, which is easy for me to say after 2 mugs of rum.
Yeah.
Okay.
While drinking water. It's a ventriloquist joke.
It was a little bit, yeah. You silly ass. Yeah. Right, anyway. The film starts. It's Castle Rock Entertainment, which I'm pretty sure we've not had yet.
No, we've done. I'm sure we've done Castle Rock.
Well, we have, but we haven't done the facts.
Oh,
Castle Rock Pictures, John, named after the 1980s, named in 1987 by the founder of Castle Rock, Rob Reiner, after his fictional Stephen King town.
Oh, right.
First appeared in Stephen King's 1979 novel The Dead Zone, which me and Rachel watched recently. Again, you know the movie.
Christopher Walken?
Christopher Walken. It's fucking great. I forgot how good it was.
It's really good.
Really enjoyable. And the Castle Rock is named after the fort in Lord of the Flies. There you go.
Nice.
Also a Village Roadshow Pictures, John.
Yep. Matrix. Oh, every time I see it, I think of The Matrix.
Oh, right. Oh, well done. Yeah, well done you. Their first film was Kylie Minogue's 50s B flick, The Delinquents. Do you remember that poster?
Oh,
getting kissed on the neck. I've never seen the movie, but I assume it wasn't. But I can tell you, when I was 10 years old, that poster was very, very influential.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Their most recent film, John, was Wonka.
Ooh.
I said Wonka.
And I mean,
have you seen it?
No, not yet. No.
It looks shite. It's got quite good reviews. But
yeah.
Who could care? Like, who wants another fucking Willy Wonka?
Who wants to see Wonka before he was wonking? Eh?
Is that what it is? Is it a prequel? Is it a pronquel? Fuck, mate, no. Oh. Anyway, we open with these kids playing in a New Jersey park in 1983.
Yeah.
One kid's getting bullied. This little bespectacled kid, the girl, defends the bullied kid and beats up the bullies. She tells the little boy to forget about them. They're jealous because he's smart and funny, and she likes him, but he doesn't like her because she's a dork.
With glasses.
Yeah.
Always the same.
I know, yeah. She punches him, and he runs off crying, and she calls him a wimp. And we're set up.
That's it. That's all the character development we need right there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what happened in 1983 in New Jersey in this world. What happened in reality in New Jersey in 1983, John and listeners? On January the 7th, 1983, at approximately 12:15 a.m., the city of New Jersey, experienced an explosion due to human error, apparently, at the Texaco Farms fuel storage facilities.
Moved.
Some twat lit a fag out the back, didn't they?
Human error means somebody was smoking a fag.
The explosion killed one employee and injured 24 people.
Ooh, so good.
In April 1983, the USS New Jersey, a battleship, was sent to Lebanon, or the Lebanon, depending on when you grew up, to fight the Lebanese Civil War. Lebanese. But also born in 1983 in New Jersey, the brilliantly named footballer Richie Incognito.
Nice. Just like my browser.
My name is not Homer, my name is Richie Incognito. Fast forward to the year 2000, and Sandy B is part of this sting in a Russian restaurant.
Yeah. And
she's got a camera, this little camera, in a copy of Essentials of Russian Grammar, Joe. Essentials of Russian Grammar is a real book, and I found a copy on eBay's for £3.72.
Does it have a camera in it?
It does not have this fucking blatant camera, which looked like it was filming the train coming into the station, didn't it?
It really did. It was the size that I was going to say a GoPro, but it was like a massive bloody iPad in there, wasn't it?
Huge camera with the thing on it cut out. It was like you see in a book with someone's like money in it.
You're that one of the ones with like a hammer in it for when you give a prisoner a book. It's got a handy little rock camera in it.
Open it up. It's a chisel in it. Yeah. Chiseling bars. I know that works. Anyway, Russian restaurants in Scotland, John. Until last year, Cafe Kosachok on King Street in Glasgow was Scotland's only Russian restaurant.
The old Kosachok.
Yeah. It opened in 1995, and The reason it's no longer the only one is because it closed last year.
Oh, it no longer exists.
It no longer exists, indeed.
The only time you can use that.
You nicked my fucking line, and I've never been happier. Well done, that man. This waitress gets in the way. And it's funny because she's a big Eastern Bloc woman and she's got a big bottom. Oh. The video catches the exchange and the cops storm in holding this mob boss at gunpoint. He looks like the guy who's got all the cars in the plane in that 2012 film with John Cusack. You know, that Russian guy in that, and they go into the Ark and they think it's a boat.
Oh, God,
a spaceship.
Jesus.
No, sorry, they think it's a spaceship. It's actually a fucking boat. It's a boat,
God,
isn't
what is
it?
that? It's 2012.
2012.
I forgot about
that. Just something about those terrible fucking end of the world movies that I absolutely love.
There was a few of them.
And I bet that's utter dog shit, but God, I got to watch that again soon.
Jerry Butler done one. Was it Green something?
Oh, no, that Greenland was amazing.
No, it was good.
I love it. I love an end of the world film, and I love Jerry Butler. I can't help it. I know he's shit.
Yeah,
but I love Jerry Butler.
The guy doing an American accent.
Yeah. Oh man, they always come up with a reason why he's not American. I think in that one it was like, you moved to America at the age of 14 from Glasgow.
Still got your twang. But he's fucking Paisley. He's not even bloody Anderson.
St Mirren wanker. Anyway, there's a movie here somewhere. Does that count as a fact?
Yes.
There you go. He's from Paisley. Jesus. Yeah. We've looked at our facts and we know we're not getting to 100. I think is what that is.
Yes.
This mob boss is caught at gunpoint and he's still eating these peanuts. Like, who doesn't shoot? Like, it's America. Surely they would just fucking gun him down for putting his hand anywhere near a bowl of peanuts. Aye. Yeah, exactly. And he chokes on a peanut. Sandy Heimlich manoeuvres him. And as he's recovering, he grabs a knife and holds it to her throat. There's a brief fracas until they're caught, but not before this other FBI guy's shot. He gets taken away in an ambulance, and Sandy's beating herself up about it.
Yeah, but before that, Benjamin Bratt,
Benjamin Bratt, yeah.
Jesus. Well, they two were in, that's another fact, they two were in Demolition Man, which we've already done.
It's not a fact, because we've already done that.
It's a fact. So he pulls out a shotgun, but he knocks over someone's tin. Is that right? So he knocks over someone's tin, like from a shopping cart.
Oh yeah, he said, "Oh, what have you got?" And he's like, a tin can. I'm up to about 75 cents in returns. Well, I was like, "Is it bottles in Glasgow?"
That's what I felt like, but I checked it out. Apparently, the price of tin today per kilogram is $24.43.
Oh right,
so you can walk about collecting all that tin and get all that lovely monies.
There were cans. It's okay, Sandy Bullock. They were cans. They were cans. Again, another previous episode. This, by the way, is Sandy B's third movie we've done. This is a triple crown.
What?
Yeah, Speed.
Yep. Huh? She should get a mug.
Oh, she can get my mug anytime she wants, mate. Yeah.
And Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yeah, absolutely.
Another
triple crown coming up, by the way. Later in the episode.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if you can remember when I named said person. Let's see if you can remember what films we've done.
Did we get one per fact?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So she's beating herself up about it, and she heads back to her apartment. She makes this hungry man dinner in this busted old microwave. She's hitting this microwave to shut the door.
Apparently that was all improvised, that whole skit.
Oh, was it really?
The whole thing. So apparently, I was reading up on it, it basically says it was her just going into her apartment to relax, but the whole thing about her kicking the bed and all that sort of thing was literally all improvised, so good old Sandy B.
Don't you love her? Like, she has got comedy chops.
Oh, God, aye.
Which I guess is why she pretty much just does comedy now.
Oh, yeah. I think she tried a couple of things.
It's just very good at it.
I
really didn't hate The Heat. I thought that The Heat movie was pretty good.
And I didn't mind Gravity. I know it's obviously a bit...
It's not particularly funny, though, is it?
That's a bit,
I don't know what you were laughing at there. Made me feel sick. I saw it in the cinema.
George Clooney died.
That's pretty funny. The Hungry Man is a Swanson branded meal.
Samsonite. Sorry. I can't get her Dumb and Dumber. Mary Swanson.
Very good. Swanson started in 1899 making butter and processed eggs, whatever they may be.
What the fuck?
I assume it's powdered egg.
True.
Have you got any cortisone? Don't you know there's a war on? I've got some powdered egg, which is a reference. It is really, truly a reference for nobody. If anybody gets that reference, particularly, please get in touch, and you can have a hat. You can have a hat for free. I will post it to you for free if you get that reference. Anyway, wow. I hope they don't live in fucking New Jersey. This dinner that she's got is a TV dinner. Swanson were the original TV dinner people. TV dinners were launched in the 1950s, and the first Swanson Hungry Man meal were marketed containing larger portions of its regular dinners, and it was advertised by the American football player Mean Joe Green.
Oh, Mean Joe Green,
You know, from the Coca-Cola advert? Oh. Hey, Mean Joe, can I get your jersey? And he throws the thing.
Yeah. Covered in sweat and slaps me.
That's the Family Guy one, isn't it? Hey, Mean Joe, can I get your sweater?
Smack. She starts punching that Everlast.
She does, yeah.
Starts going for it as well. So I don't know if that was improvised, but I just looked up Everlast, founded in 1910, but they were sold to British retailing company Fraser's Group in 2007. Mm-hmm. So they,
who owns them now, don't you?
They founded in the Bronx and ended up, and they got
old Mike Ashley owns them now. Yeah. Oh, what a dickhead! That Everlast heavy bag. I found one for. I've got a price here somewhere.
Oh, was that the one at the Olympics one?
I just found a cheap one, mate. A 4 foot, 22 kilo one, £100 in Argos.
Nice.
There you go. Cheap at half the price. But she's doing this thing with a microwave, by the way, and I looked into it. I was like, is that going to cause a problem? Apparently, the door is an important safety feature designed to prevent radiation leakage. If the door is not closing properly, there's a risk of radiation leakage, which can be harmful to health.
What?
Okay, so we know that. We got that. But I thought, how much? So I did even more of a dive, because apparently 5 milliwatts per square centimetre, which is a level of radiation that is not dangerous to people, is what a microwave gives off. And I thought, well, what's that comparable to? So I thought, let's go at the other end. The Chernobyl meltdown, which gave off 5.6 rotogens per second. Not great, not terrible. Yeah, there you go. Her apartment's in absolute state. She puts on the music, she punches the heavy bag. Again, I was kind of into it. She's a boy. She's a tomboy. Is kind of the joke throughout the film. Yeah. The song she puts on, John, "It's None of Your Business" by Salt and Pepper.
Ooh, baby, baby.
1994. It got to number 40. Where, John?
What in the
What was that?
In the Netherlands.
Yes, John. Yeah. Yes, in France. And number 29 in the Swiss Toblerone chart. I've just bit my tongue laughing at you.
Oh, you sod.
It's painful being your friend.
I had a bit at talking about Toblerone. Toblerone.
In the next shot, we see a gloved hand printing a warning note. In the background is loads of cut-out headlines about the citizen who has seemingly been doing bombings and murders and crashes and things like that.
Yeah.
Next morning, the chief calls. She's heading out to her car and calls her in very urgently. She speeds to this building and forces her way through the crowd. To
Starbucks.
Yeah. She's making an order. And it's funny because she used her badge and orders a massive list of things.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. I'll give you 3 out of 5 for that one, Phil. In the office, we have a decent bunch of character actors. Of course, we've got Benjamin Bratt.
Yep.
Demolition Man. Ernie Hudson. Listeners,
yep.
If you like The Crow as much as John does, you will absolutely hate our first ever episode where I'm really horrible about The Crow.
I think
and you'll love our 100th episode, which was...
The Crow when you flipped.
where I flipped and loved it. Ernie Hudson, he features heavily, as do hot dog onions. Hot dog onions, like, changed my life, that. Oh, cold and slimy hot dog onions out of a little... I just can't get my head around it.
Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. Got to be hot.
She drives past, to get to the office, by the way, this London Meat Co. It's a real company, and it is, would you believe it, in the meat packing district.
No way.
Which is probably not quite as hot as it sounds.
I know. He's packing meat.
She'll pack the meat with you. They'll deliver, if you're in the US, 4 16-ounce New York strip steaks, John, which is a sirloin, to the listeners out there. $110. Sounds really fucking dear for 4 steaks.
Aye.
But again, good meat in America costs a fortune, doesn't it? Because there's a lot of shit meat. Like Taco Bell gives you the shits; it's official. Whereas in Glasgow, it's marginally less likely to give you the shits.
Aye, if you deep fry it enough, it will kill all the. It could kill you.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I dropped your taco in the fryer. You can keep it. This comes out of my wages. If I had a girlfriend, she'd kill me.
I've seen the worst. I've seen the worst one yet. Deep fried Turnips tea cakes.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
How does it not just disintegrate?
Yeah, but it worked.
I'll tell you the story, listeners. Again, I'm sure I've told this before about when I first visited Alloa, because obviously I'm some sort of fucking pervert town visitor or something. The lassie in front of me in the fish shop ordered I'll have a battered Mars bar, please. Okay, right. Do you want it open or wrapped? Open. And then as she was taking it away, she reached for the brune sauce and she just smothered it in brune sauce.
God,
and then just took a bite. And I've never been put off my pizza crunch quicker, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh, pizza crunch though.
It's too much bread for me. Anyway, bread chat with John, chippy chat with John and Planty. Now, that's a podcast I think people would listen to. A new letter from the Citizen has arrived. It's too cryptic for them to understand. The chief gives point on the case to Matthews, who is Bratt, and Gracie, who is Sandy, chases him to discuss the previous night's case. He's put her on desk duty until she gets cleared by the board for her actions. After the gig in the pub, she's eating this burger. What a sloppy mess she's making, and reading through the letter. She asked the barman for a pint, and she gets what?
A pint of Ben and Jerry's finest.
Pint of Ben and Jerry's. A pint of Ben and Jerry's. Now we've done some Ben and Jerry's. I was looking for. There's a lot of facts about Ben and Jerry's, but it's really boring.
I know, we've done it a few
times. There's a lot of climate there's a lot of things they've done for the climate and then very quickly reversed it.
Like the government?
Like they went to I'm not going to go through it, but they went to packaging that was easily recyclable, and then within a year they reverted back to the old packaging that isn't easily recyclable. What a bunch of old fucking hippies turned rich boys. Matthews has brought his date to the bar. She's an undergrad wanting to learn about a woman's view, and Matthews explains that Gracie is not the person to learn about a woman because she's not a woman. It's really cruel. I don't like it. But it's a reference to her being a tomboy. What I do love is I love that she's not afraid to make, like, she makes the jokes, doesn't she? She makes the gags, and then she laughs at her own jokes, which, as listeners know, is what I do. No, that's snorting laugh, mate. Yeah, she is the girl for me. I love that.
Does Rachel know?
Snorting laugh. Yeah, right. Yeah, I've made Rachel snort a couple of times in derision, laughing at me, not with me. Back at the office, Gracie's figured it out. The target is the Miss America pageant, but the Boffins have also figured it out. It's hosted this year in Texas at the Alamo, and the line from this guy is, "Oh, I forgot the Alamo." That's kind of like, that's pretty good. I'm kind of into that. I'm certainly more into that than I am discussing a case in the middle of a pub.
Yeah, true.
You know, like they were discussing a massive murder case.
But you know, I assume it was a bar that was frequented by FBI agents.
Yeah,
Like all the movies, any firemen and all, they just go to the fireman pub and they've got
the fireman pub. Yeah, listeners, we all want to go there. Remember the Alamo on April the 21st, 1836. The Texan army under Sam Houston, no, not that one, attacked Santa Anna's army, poor Santa, on the banks of San Jacinto River with cries of, "Remember the Alamo! Remember Goliad! God and Texas!" The battle lasted 18 minutes and was a resounding victory for the Texans. Again, previous episode, basketball. What do we always say? Fuck the Mexicans! It was the San Antonio team, wasn't it? Yeah. In the pub, by the way, she was sat in front of a Golden Tee golf arcade game. Do you remember those?
Oh, Jesus, aye.
Yeah, with the rollerball thing.
Yeah.
I am led to believe by the internet they still exist. I don't think I've seen one for fucking years.
No.
Launched in 1989 using a trackball. 1995, Peter Jacobsen's Golden Tee, named after PGA Tour golfer Peter Jacobsen, was the first in the series to support online networked play. And throughout Chicago, not New York, there was a £1,000 bonus to the person that got the highest score.
What?
Pretty good. Certainly back then, there's a lot of money. The Miss United States pageant started in 1952. The current holder is Noelia Voigt from Utah.
Ah, Noelia.
Yeah, she's a saint. They have 48 hours to figure this out before the show starts. Gracie explains to call the network and the pageant people. She basically starts running the show, but Matthews takes them all as his own ideas, because he's a prick. They decide to grab an agent to go undercover, and they've got this idea for the perfect agent. They put her through this Dress Up Sally software.
I looked for that. I couldn't find it. Dress Up Sally.
Why, John?
Lies. Well, there's one called Dress Up Sally, and I seen one called Dress Up Sally and Jessica, and I thought I'm not clicking on that. It just didn't.
That sounds like something you pay £5 a month for.
Well, I'm not clicking it. But they must have all been dressed up. But especially back then, Ernie Hudson must have been wearing that bloody one piece.
Ernie Hudson, he looked great, and
he could carry it off.
He does have the best. He does have the best line, I think, coming up, which is really good. It's basically just the boys having a perv dressing people up until Gracie explains the agent that they're picking is on maternity leave. The last one's McDonald, the chief. They put him in the swimsuit and he comes in at that very moment. "Chief, we were looking for someone undercover and I'm the best we have. Not very inspiring, is it?" It's a great line. And as he leaves, Benjamin Bratt gives this kind of like, he was right behind us all the time. You couldn't have said anything. You couldn't have. And again, there's something about that. Now you've said a few bits are kind of just done on spec. That there's a few kind of lines that just feel a bit like they just left the camera rolling and left the actors to mug a bit. Yeah, and I quite liked that. The tech does the same with Gracie, and of course, she looks like Sandy in a swimsuit. Later, Gracie's working out kickboxing. Matthews comes in to get to take the job of going undercover. She is not into it. She doesn't own a dress, and she doesn't even own a brush, which I think is a really good line. He explains they have to do the whole thing. Spinning, twirling, always twirling, to freedom, and the tap number. They have this massive tussle. Do I have to wear the bathing suit? Yeah. Well, where will I put my gun? Bend over and I'll show you.
All their own stunts as well, they don't have it themselves.
All right, okay, good work, lads. Gracie and Matthews head to the headquarters where they meet the head of the pageant, Kathy Morningside.
Yeah.
She'd been in a few bits, huh?
No, fine.
She's run it for a scholarship opportunity. It's a positive thing, not a flesh market. They explain all the winners have already been chosen to go to the final, but apparently Miss New Jersey was in a pornographic film, and Sandy calls it Armageddon. And I was like, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, and she snorts at that one as well.
It did make me snort just like she did, that, to be honest. I was into that. So she's like, I think she was probably going to drop out. So, listeners, I did some investigating here for you, against my better judgment, and none of it works for me at all. There was no way I was going to spend hours upon hours looking at porn stars from New Jersey to try and figure out which one this was. It's none of them. They're all men. They're all men. Except for a couple. Except for Thora Birch's mum.
What?
Was a porn star.
No way.
Thora Birch's mum was a porn star, according to 5 different websites. I didn't look up any pictures because I assumed it was like bush that looked like my new cat. It looked like Rogue. I didn't look that up. But what I did look up, and this, I love this, by the way, because the porn stuff doesn't work on audio, but this does. Tamara Lynn Sitch, or Sunny, as she's known in wrestling squared circles. She did a porn after wrestling, but she's been arrested more than 20 times for driving under the influence, burglary, possession of a weapon, must be in a swimsuit, and in 2022 she killed a 75-year-old man by crashing into him at a red light whilst ratted. And last year she was given a 17-year sentence in a correctional facility that I assume she won't see a lot of sunny shine.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hey, how good's that?
No.
Good's that? Yeah.
No for the old
She
guy,
looks
that
like
way.
a wrestler. I'll give her that. She looks like a wrestler. She looks like Dean. She looks like Dean. That's yes and or no. We haven't had any other wrestlers on this podcast. So.
True.
Yeah. I'm saying that. I am saying that absolutely now because there are a couple of wrestlers that I kind of chat with online, and we will get them on because we've done stuff with Boo and Alicia, haven't we?
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell Alicia that she looks like a wrestler because I would deserve to be. Alicia, I said Alicia. I mean Aisha, of course. Aisha would fucking batter the fuck out of me. Yeah. I might tell Boo he looks like a wrestler. So we do actually know quite a few wrestlers. Me and you. It turns out. Oh, Stanfield's the other host. He turns around and he goes, "Was that her?" So he's seen the film. I'm into that. Shatner for me is top 5 in this, in spite of the fact he doesn't have anything to do.
Oh no,
and there's this undercurrent of the fact that he's having sex with the girls that I honestly didn't pick up on until the second time I was watching it. It's this really grim kind of undercurrent that him and Miss Texas are at it on a regular basis.
Well, do you know what? I've it must be in Shatner's contract that he must be an undercover shagger because I started watching the original season of Star Trek, and I'm telling you right now, apart from the crew, everybody else is up for it. Like, any alien holds a go to that boy, honestly.
Did he shag Gork? Anyway.
Top shagger. Rosebud.
They explain that it'll be Gracie, and they all laugh and call Victor Melling. Miss Morningside's assistant Frank Tobin organises a meet. Now, this is the star of the film for me coming up at a posh restaurant. If you are Gracie Hart, I quit here and now. Michael Caine, of course, for his Triple Crown.
Oh, aye,
John,
so,
the
right,
third
okay.
Michael Caine. So what have we done? And I'll give you a fact for each.
Right, so we've done Now You See Me.
Oh, it's his 4th. Well done. Okay, very good.
What?
I was in Now You See Me. Yes, he was.
Bonus points.
Yeah.
He was in this Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, you're not getting a point for this. It was for the
whatever.
others.
He was in all the Batman films. So
But we haven't done all the Batman films, have
3
we?
points, please. Prestige. He was in a Prestige.
He is in the Prestige. Okay, I'll give you a little hint. He was in something that was about the last time England had a team, kind of.
Italian Job.
He is in the Italian Job.
Right.
And he was the only human in the other film.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
There you
Bloody
go.
hell, man.
There you go.
See, so in character I couldn't remember it was actually Michael Caine.
You couldn't remember he was actually a human. So he's great in this. He's perfect in this. He refuses the job. He can't make Gracie ready in 2 days. Now, again, he's a little bit camp, and obviously he's supposed to be a homosexual man, and he plays it very subtly. I think he plays it wonderfully. Michael Caine in what I think was the begin. This is the beginning for me of his of his third like great age, because like his first one, of course, was all the British films, Harry Palmer and all that kind of stuff. Second one was when he won the Oscar and did a few dramatic pieces.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels as well.
Oh yeah, I mean Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. You can say it's a comedy, but it's a massive drama piece. He plays that straight. He's the one that plays that. He's the straight man. And then of course around about this time he started getting, and then he won his second Oscar, and then of course he became Christopher Nolan's
he's his man.
Absolutely. The one person Nolan could rely on throughout his career was Michael Caine. What's he going to do now?
Oh no, what are you going to do? He's retired.
Al Pacino. It's gonna have to be me. It's gonna be me. Hoo-ha, Batman! Hoo-ha, Mr. Wayne! You got a great Batmobile! I think enough. Jeez, it's been so long since I've done it. So long since I've done it. You got a great Batcave. He sits with her and picks her up on her saying "yeah" instead of "yes." It's very it's very like your woman out of Men in Black, isn't it? You got an agger suit. You got that kind of she's eating this massive steak with an open mouth. At first, I thought it was steak and spaghetti, but it's like long onions.
Oh, really? Just
this steak, probably? This raw steak. Yeah. He asks for another glass of wine, and he turns around as she's drinking the beer. And another keg for you. It's kind of yes. They don't get on, but he used to be the highest paid consultant. 10, 11 years ago, he was a winner. The year they lost, the only year we lost, was to a deaf mute. You can't compete with that. He was accused of bullying a girl in 96, and ever since that, no one would touch him. He calls her Dirty Harriet, which I fucking loved, by the way. I was well into Dirty Harriet.
Good touch.
Yeah. As they leave, oh my God, I haven't seen a walk like that since Jurassic Park. He tells her to glide. It's not the bloody ice capades. Which is kind of, what is that? What even is that? The ice capades. Travelling entertainment shows featuring theatrical ice skating performances.
Right.
Shows often featured former Olympic and US national figure skaters, started in 1940 and a decline in popularity ensued in the 1980s. The show went out of business around 1995.
Oh.
In spite of the fact that it's in a Bob's Burgers episode from about 5 years ago. She starts to glide, and as she's crossing the road, there's a good bit where a taxi nearly hits her. She's like, "Hey, I'm gliding here!" Which sounds kind of okay. On the flight to San Antonio, we see them watching videos of old pageants. And he turns to Matthews. He says, "With some intensive work, she'll be ready for the world's finest trailer park." He's really understated, Michael Caine, in this, isn't he? Like, he's not his usual. At no point does he do the shouting Michael Caine.
No,
which
doesn't.
I love, but yeah, there was no need. There was no need for it.
It's great. So, his wife, I was reading a thing as well. His wife was helping with the pageantry stuff, because obviously she was an ex-contestant or something like that.
Oh, Shakira. Yeah, Shakira Caine. Yeah, Shakira Caine. Yeah, who we met on the Man Who Would Be King.
Oh yeah, go on,
Yeah. And Sean Connery became the man who... Sean Connery was the man who became king, of course, and I got bloody nothing.
Shakira.
I lost my bleeding eye. But at least he didn't get launched off of a bridge.
True that.
By some sort of wind or something. Well, what happens in this? What happens in that? It's a great film. I don't know what happens, but it's a fucking brilliant film. In this aircraft hangar, they're cleaning her teeth and untangling her hair and, waxing her knuckles.
Yeah.
Now, do you think I could do this for a reel? Do you think I should wax my knuckles for a reel? Yeah, do you think I should do that? Anything to see me put through pain?
Yeah, wax your toes as well.
No, mate, I'm not touching my toes. My toes don't have a lot of hair on. I'm not a fucking Hobbit, although I do have massive feet. I will. If I can remember, I'll wax my. I'll get some strips.
So if you wax it, you can. If you wax any part of your body, it will keep smooth for 3 to 6 weeks.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see about that.
We'll see, and you can wax any part of your body. I was going to rhyme them all off, but there's fucking. You can pretty much
wax on, wax off.
Wax on, Watson.
Everyone's eating these massive hoagies, by the way. They look delicious, these sandwiches. Good, There's more bread than any man should ever eat. And she has to eat this. But what she gets is this gorgeous-looking stick of celery. Gorgeous. It looked like they're so green. So green. That's American food for you, though, isn't it? Always looks so good. Tastes
it
like
looks
shit.
good. It's probably spray painted.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We do this cue bit from Bond. Do pay attention, Miss Jersey. She gets a pin badge camera and an earpiece. Next morning, the doors of the hangar open, and she walks out in this little mini dress to Mustang Sally, which I've not done. I've not done specifically because we've got commitments on the list, listeners. We will do commitments, and I'm saving Mustang Sally for them.
Save it.
It's really good. She falls in her heels. They head to this hotel via loads of San Antonio landmarks. To Tom Jones's She's a Lady. John. They pass the Alamo Dome, which I was like, the Alamo Dome, that sounds fun. 64,000 all-seater stadium, which allegedly, according to the internet listeners, hosts American football teams that I'm pretty sure have been made up just to make this podcast look stupid.
Go for it.
Even more stupid than usual. So, number 1, the San Antonio Brahms. Number 2, the UTSA Roadrunners. Meep meep. The San Antonio Commanders and the San Antonio Talons.
That's made up.
Does it have talons? Opened May the 15th, 1993. They've got to all be made up, those. I haven't heard of any of them. She's a Lady, written by Paul Anka in 1970.
O.P. Anka?
What a... Ricky! The Tom Jones version from this was number 7 in New Zealand, present. Number 12 in Austria's Hitler charting. And 3rd in Stupid Sexy Flanders chart. He asked for me! The King of Belgium asked for me! You know I was going to do it. You just didn't know how.
As soon as Tom goes it, it's all... Still love
She's a lady!
Still love it.
I think I better dance now, man!
He asked for me.
He asked for me. Yeah, anyway. Enough shit Tom Jones impressions. Oh, don't forget to put the lottery on, John. It's the Thunderball this weekend. Jesus. Enough of me. I just can't help myself.
That's not unusual.
We're on the bus again. We meet Cheryl, Miss Rhode Island. She introduces her to New York, Texas, Tennessee, Hawaii, and California. Hawaii's really mean.
And Little Rock.
Little Rock, yeah, Arkansas. Hawaii's really fucking mean. She's awful, and I'm glad she's like the first one to go out. She's a right piece of shit. She absolutely is. California asks if she's been drinking too much Coppertone. And I was like, what the fuck is... I figured it was just something that...
I thought it was like Rusty's.
I thought it was like tyre water or something. But Coppertone is a suntan lotion launched in 1944. And I was like, but why would she drink that? Just because she's from a sunny place? So I did a bit more digging. But apparently if you blend Aperol Spritz and coconut gin, it tastes like suntan lotion.
What?
It's known as a Coppertone cocktail. I was like, what is even going on here?
Drinks a lotion on this... Oh, no.
Or else it gets the Aperol Spritz again. Yeah. Gracie calms the situation by asking if they start and end conversations with aloha. Because, of course, aloha means hello and goodbye. No, and that's a fact, and I'm putting that down.
No, I thought it was great funny as well. I enjoyed that.
We learn that Stan Fields is retiring at the end of the year, or at least that's what he tells them all, only for Miss Texas to whisper that he's actually being sacked. Yeah, and again, he told me, and this is the kind of the first thing you get where it's like, okay.
Pillow talk.
The guys behind the scenes are struggling to get in touch with Gracie, and they switch some wires around, which emits feedback and causes it to scream, Jesus Christ! Everyone turns on her and she's like, oh, I didn't thank Jesus Christ before taking a bite of my bagel and schmear. She bends down to pray. John, schmear, of course, is a word of Germanic origin, equivalent to smear or spread. In some Germanic languages, the cognate of smear itself means butter. The use and smelling of schmear in American English is a direct steal from Yiddish, where it is often referred to as cheese. So I didn't get the dictionary out for that one because I assumed it was, but I thought I'll do a bit of a Google in case it just means jizz or something. So there you go.
Well done, you.
So let's check in with at this point. I think it's a very good time to check in with the shortlist of our patrons for Miss Podcast of the Year. So we're going to start with Miss West Yorkshire via the West Midlands, Paul Parks. Miss Minnesota, Maria Cosciarella. Miss Farrington's favourite zombie killer, Aaron. Miss Old Harrowby, watch out for crabs, it's Ali. Miss What's It Called? Cumbernauld, it's got to be Ian. Miss Most Likely to be Stabbed because she's from Greenock, it's Emily. Miss, I don't know, somewhere in Wales, ? Nigel. And Miss, you're a hooer and a cunt, Punk.
You're a cunt.
We'll get in with more of those lovely people shortly. Such a good idea when I started it.
Yeah.
There's this dance tryout to Dancing Queen, right? And I was like, this is Dancing Queen, but it sounds really off.
Aye.
Like, it sounds sped up. And then it took, like, half of the scene before a memory absolutely dislodged. And I felt a little bit sick as to how I'd managed to bury this memory. Because it's not ABBA, it's A-Teens. John, do you remember the A-Teens?
No. Starring B.A.
B.A. Baracus, yeah. Jewelry Man. No, the A-Teens, right? They were like, and I knew it before looking up, they were like the teenage version of ABBA.
Oh, really?
Right, in like the late 90s or 2000s. But then, because I'd not thought of it for 20 years, I just buried it. I buried it in my subconscious like that time I was sexually assaulted when I was 5. They had 4 albums. 4, right? Every song on the album was a fucking ABBA song.
Right.
How did they make any money?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Their version of Mamma Mia, which was their first ever single, made its number 1 in Denmark. I assume because they don't like music in Denmark. Is all I can figure. Final note, the youngest of the 18s, John, is 40 this year.
Oh, God.
Because we have lived too long.
I feel old yet.
I feel like you know the gif of Matt Damon in Saving Private Ryan where he just gets old.
Aye, that's it.
When I read that this morning, it spoiled my day. Like it ruined it. I was good for nothing. It's absolutely good for nothing. Anyway, she's not good at the dancing. She's not the dancing queen.
Yeah.
But that night, Cheryl arrives in Gracie's room with a thermos of hot chocolate. Gracie tries it and spits it out, blaming it on it being hot, but it's obviously minging.
It's bogging.
It's bogging. It's bogging indeed. Cheryl asks what Gracie's talent is. She says it's a surprise, but nothing as dumb as baton twirling. Cheryl cries because that's her talent.
Oh.
I saw a girl from home twirl fiery batons once, but I can't because my parents don't like anything ostentatious. I think I love your parents. I know somebody that did baton, and actually, if you go to the museum in Carlisle, John and listeners, if you go to Tully House in Carlisle, there is some video of a certain woman who was daft enough to marry me in a parade, at the front of a parade, twirling a baton.
What?
You see, at least that's what she fucking tells me.
Lady Plant?
That's it, yeah, yeah. Her Majesty Mrs. Plant, yeah. Twirling a baton at the front, yeah.
Oh, Raquel giving it a whirl.
I know, absolutely. And she's obviously graduated to twirling my baton now,
well...
So. I mean, you can stick to what you're good at, girl. My wife's gonna kill me. No other podcast I listen to mention their wives in such ways. It's just me. It's just me.
Nice.
And I'm wondering how I'm still married. It's the cats. She's staying with me because of the cats.
Yeah, that and the banter.
Aye, right. Cheryl leaves telling Gracie that she's smart and kind and funny, and as she's about to go to sleep, Matthews bangs on the window, saying that Vic needs her. It's a practice in the dress for walking down some stairs. She can't walk with guns strapped to her, and she takes all these guns off of her thighs, and that's the joke kind of thing. She doesn't have a talent, though. She agrees to try one thing she hasn't done since college, and Vic says... you can't have sex on the stage. She just has to call room service. We don't see what it is, but Vic stops her creeping donuts down her bra, and she's got donuts down her boobs. She's pretty good. And then as she's leaving, the guy with the sniffer dog's coming in, and he's sniffing at her crotch, and she's got one of her pants as well. And it was pretty good. As a man who sneaks food all the time, it's pretty good. Meanwhile, we see the citizen blow up a mannequin with a bomb tiara.
Yep.
Walking back to Gracie's room, Matthew explains that he thought she looked great in the evening dress. And she does this song that, again, another thing that I've done over the years, and I had no idea where it was from. You think I'm gorgeous, you wanna kiss me. And I've done that for years, and I had no idea where it was from.
Now you know.
Fucking hell. There was too much pop culture to fucking swallow and remember.
There was a lot going around in 2000, so
yeah.
There was snippets of everything, to be fair.
Yeah. He leans in to kiss her and instead takes a bite of what looks like a Bounty bar, doesn't it? Yeah, and I'm like, man, how are you so skinny and eating Mars bars? Because in Demolition Man, he's quite built, isn't he? He's really broad-shouldered. He looks like the fucking robot out of Demolition Man, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? But he's really, really built. But in this, he's rake thin.
Aye.
And he looks like some sort of heroin addict.
Because he keeps.
But I guess he's just getting on a bit, isn't he?
Keeps eating. He was in was it Modern Family?
I think I might have given up by then. Was it one of the later series?
He's getting on a bit. Aye. He's managed that.
Oh, we started watching Morning Glory, is it called? Harrison Ford on... It's not what you think.
Right.
Harrison Ford on a TV show as a newsreader. I'd never seen it before. Rachel McAdams. I had such a good time with it. But it's got Phil Dunphy from
is it?
Modern Family in. But he's a real arsehole like he is in...
in the Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, previous episode.
I always remember it was for Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. That's my... That actor, whatever the fuck he's called. Anyway. Next morning, the girls are prepping. Texas mentions that Gracie had a man stop by. She says it's nothing and slags Matthews, knowing that he can hear her. It's like talking about, he's got an attitude this big and a penis this big. It's like, and he's like, haha, yeah, great cover. Like he's laughing away. He's like, yeah, that's great cover, Gracie. Keep it up, kind of thing. But you can tell he's really pissed off. There's a lot of fucking perving FBI agents in this, by the way.
I know there's a lot of.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like, it's okay when I do it because it's Sandy.
Exactly.
Now, they're at the Alamo, and it's the preliminary, the talents.
The prelims.
First up, Texas is singing You Light Up My Life. And then this montage of a flautist, an opera singer, and some song about, I'll do the cooking, darling, while she does the rent or something. You pay the rent. And the lassie's doing balloon modelling.
I know.
While this is on. And I was like, why is that song on while you're doing balloon modelling? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I thought, is the song something to do with balloon modelling? The song is Bill Bailey, Won't You Come Home by Bobby Darin, which made number 34 in the UK charts. But it was written in 1902. And first recorded version was the same year, sung by Arthur Collins, no relation to Phil Collins, as he played the song on piano, or piani. It's a ragtime standard, apparently.
Right.
And I listened to it a couple of times. I was like, yeah, it's all right, if you like, kind of thing. Cheryl does her baton. It's good. But then out comes Sandy and does Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago on these fucking glasses full of water.
Water glasses? Oh...
But of course, the most important thing about this is she's dressed as a Bavarian beer hall maid.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
And I don't know why that was relevant, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. I've got to say.
I think I added a lot to the story, to be fair.
Oh, it added so much to that particular scene. But she's good because she got bells as well. She's doing the ringing thing. She's got bells. I was kind of into that. Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago, John, 1965, written by Maurice Jarre.
Is that Jean-Michel's dad?
John, he also scored Lawrence of Arabia, and you've spoiled my fact of the episode. Oxygen wanker Jean-Michel Jarre is his son.
No
But
way.
John, not just that. If that weren't enough, his other son, Kevin Jarre, which hasn't quite got the same ring to it, wrote the screenplay to the film Tombstone.
Fuck off. Really?
No, mate, it's fucking truth. It's fact. It's down on my list. It's in the movie. Yeah,
Wow.
so I kind of like that.
Oxygen wanker.
He's an oxygen wanker, apparently. I don't know why I wrote that, but apparently he is. And when I've had a few drinks, I just read what I've written when I'm sober. She spots a guy in a cowboy outfit reaching for a gun, and she dives on him. Turns out he's reaching for a lighter. On the news report later, she explains she wanted to end America's dependence on tobacco.
That's a good save.
And
Good save.
it is good, yeah. And then later it's like, he had a gun. So, this is Texas. Everyone has a gun. And it's good, like, yeah, okay. We learn that the suspect is a woman from the DNA. Morningside takes a moment aside with Gracie and explains she's worked her entire life to ensure that this is a success, and she'll kill her if she gets in her way. Later, Vic explains that they should have more pride and wish to finish first. Not settle for top 5, but that's the agreement. They argue and she pulls a gun. We are finished, she says. She storms out and finds Matthews. He's swimming lengths. She explains to him that she's quitting. She doesn't believe she's good enough. He says she was picked because she's easy to talk to. If the pageant people saw what he sees, then they'd love her.
Oh.
She says she's going to try her best and not let him down, and he pulls her into the pool for zero reason.
No reason.
Next up is the swimsuit round. The male agents, of course, are getting a right eyeful on Gracie's camera. Vic pulls these plastic chicken fillets and puts them in her top and gives her some hemorrhoid cream to get rid of the bags under her eyes.
Under her eyes, yeah.
Yeah, which is the it's just a standard.
She didn't like it.
Johnny Giles.
Yeah, she didn't like it. She wanted it removed from the film. Didn't like
Oh,
it.
really?
She didn't
Oh,
like the
wow,
film
that's
scene.
interesting. But again, I guess she's just naturally a really attractive woman, and I guess she wants to kind of make this not just about how women look.
Yeah.
That's
Wants to make a
good. That's
statement.
good.
So many levels. She's like a parfait. So many layers. So many layers.
She's like a Sandy Bees are like onions. Well, she's producer on this as well, executive producer or whatever. Again, you can pay people less if you give them a production fucking credit.
True.
When she heads out, she has a great time, by the way, because she's really against this. And then when she realises that people love how she looks, she's like giggling and snorting. And it really is my favourite thing about Gracie, that she's just such a wonderful human. You know, she is. I think she is. And I love it when she's happy. In answer to the one thing the world needs, they all say world peace, except Gracie, who says harsher punishment for parole breakers
violations.
and world peace. In Britain, John, you'll be arrested and returned to prison if you break your parole. If you avoid being returned to prison, it's called remaining unlawfully at large. This is an offence, and you could get up to 2 more years in a prison sentence. There you go. Matthews explains that Cheryl's a suspect because she's been known to be part of this group of protesters. Judging from the pictures, I think she was in the 12 Monkeys or something.
She was just there, wasn't she?
Gracie agrees. I mean, it very much like Tory Britain, isn't it? You know, you can't stand by the left line in Nottingham Slab Square without getting fucking arrested. Gracie agrees to talk to Cheryl, who, by the way, says her perfect date is April the 25th. Because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Because obviously they're asking what would be your perfect date, and it's kind of like movie and a meal and
walking down by the beach.
Yeah, getting jizzed in on the first date, that kind of thing. Yeah, but
I looked up answer this, by the way, and apparently that was a legitimate answer. Apparently that was taken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So somebody actually said that.
Wow. I like that. I, of course, John, went a completely different way. April the 25th, I did births and deaths. 1917, Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, Ella.
1943, one of my favourites. Avenues and Alleyways singer, John. Tony Christie.
Oh.
Yeah. And previously mentioned in this podcast, 1940, Al Pacino. I've already done the impression. Death's John, a bit sadder. My boy Alan Stiletto, Nottinghamshire writer and poet. Director and legend Saul Bass. He did most of Hitchcock's Hollywood titles. And squeaky-voiced World Cup winner Alan Ball, who died in 2007.
Ball?
Yeah, you could suggest, John, was the last time England had a ball or something. I don't know. Really given that a lot of thought. Next thing, they're at this... she turns up with pizza and beer. The girls aren't having it, but they cave and they have this pizza and beer. By the way, this pizza looks like it's just out of Farm Foods, doesn't it? It's like Farm Foods standard.
That looks shit.
It looks rock
big
solid.
Black things on it.
My teeth hurt just looking at it.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, they're at this club doing paint drumming.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
That was all the rage. That was on
Was
the range
it?
of Hot Shots. Aye. The phone parties and
The Blue Man
neon.
Group. She just blew herself.
Many times.
By the way, the music on this one, if everybody looked the same, from that brilliant Groove Armada Vertigo album. It is phenomenal. That is such a good album.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Again, why would you think about Groove Armada in 2024, I guess, is the fucking answer to that. Gracie tries to find out if she really is a criminal mastermind. The answer, of course, is she's not. The only thing she's done is try and steal some red knickers because her mum said they were the devil's work. She's like, there was one other thing I did. I was attacked by my professor at college. And she was like, you were assaulted. You did nothing wrong. You were assaulted. I'll help you with some moves to harm men in the future, which I am 100% up for. The girls, drunk, all discuss that Miss Morningside's known for poisoning the winner the year that she won, but also that she's been sacked and she's been known to have a temper. She threw a chair out of a window or something. Mm-hmm. The chief's here, McDonald. He's trying to shut the case down because they found the citizen in Nevada.
Yep.
But Gracie explains what they know about Morningside, but he's not having any of it because it's like you learnt it from Mary Lou or something. He's like, what was this, a pajama party?
Yeah.
Matthews also doesn't back her up, and the chief tells her to hand in her badge. She's adamant she wants to save the girls. Her and Matthews argue, and she leaves because he doesn't defend her at all, does he?
Yeah. She just hands him her gun and badge and says, "Fuck you, Bratt."
Yeah. In Morningside's office, her assistant or son, as we discover, they found that loads of different groups hate them. The Women's Liberation Front, Splitters, and the Islamic Jihad. God. But not really. She's written all the letters, including the one from the Citizen. She intends to give the network a real show. I mean, this movie came out in December. I mean, why did this come out in December? Why was this dumped in December?
I know.
I mean, I guess a lot of people go to the cinema in December, but it just feels dumped in December. Less than a year later, there was a jihad attack on, obviously, 9/11. I mean, fucking hell. I know. Home DVD release must have gone down the fucking toilet for this, by the way. Gracie goes to Vic's room as he's leaving. He explains he won't be paid if he doesn't leave. But he does say, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, if I ever had a daughter, I'd hope she was like you. And it's very sweet, and I love it. He gives her address. I was saving this. It belonged to the previous girl. She was only 16 years old. He doesn't say that, of course. That's Get Carter. Gracie arrives late and doesn't know which one is lipstick, and the girls all pull together and do her makeup. It's Trey Sweet. I'm very much into it. Now's the time, of course, to get back to the patrons. Miss giving away the rights to fishing in the English Channel. It's got to be Biggie. Miss Denton Byrne, Gadget. Watch out, she's got a sock full of coins. Miss sat at home in her pants playing Football Manager. It's Dan. Miss Hey You in the bushes getting scratched to fuck. It's Gavin. Miss Place You Get Tortured and Murdered in the Middle of Nowhere Island. It's Mono. Miss Smoked Herring. Ian Graham. Miss Florida Man. Josh Wilson. Miss Tory Safe Seat. Stig. Miss Falkirk FC. Top of the League. Gavin. Miss got out of Teesside in time. It's Jen. And Miss didn't get out of Teesside in time. It's Jake. I'm very pleased with these, actually. The more I drink, the more pleased I am with these. Yeah, so, that it was a bit of work. I was driving around today, kind of going to my colleague, can you make a note of that? And he's going, what does that mean? It doesn't matter. Just write it down. Gracie notices Morningside stood by a case left backstage, and when they leave, she heads over to it, and it turns out it's full of mics. When the guy picks out one of the mics, yeah, that's the mic I would have used too. It's a very good line. It's good. This is the most 2000s group dance scene, by the way. To this, You're One in a Million by Bocker or whatever, by Bosson, right? Which only charted in the US.
It's still good.
And it only made dance charts. You're one in a million, and I've had it in my head all fucking week.
It's a bit demo. It's what's Running Man?
Yes, it is. The dance is like the Running Man dancers.
Well, I was reading it because obviously she went to the rehearsals for that one, but no, the first one because she wanted to look out of place in it, which she really did. So it's quite.
Oh, she does look really awkward. She does.
Good shout. She looks good in this, so.
Oh, absolutely. Stan and Kathy start the show, calling the top 10 Hawaii, California, New York, Alaska. I mean, imagine being the fittest person in Alaska.
In Alaska, I know.
I assume it's you, John.
It would be.
Texas, New Jersey, so that's Gracie, and Cheryl of Rhode Island. And then I was like, wait, that's only 7. There's meant to be 10.
Mm-hmm. No.
And I thought I'd missed something, and I took it back, but they do only shout out 7. Why, John? Why must films lie to us? The feds are helping Vic onto the plane. He mentions the son. Oh, a snivelling, ubiquitous weasel of a boy, which I like. He says that Frank is a Morningside and not a Tobin, and this gets Matthews thinking. Because irrespective of the fact that Gracie does all his thinking for him, he's not a bad cop.
True that.
It's time for the talents, and we see Gracie's bought Cheryl some flaming batons, and she's amazing. Matthews approaches Gracie and explains it's Tobin they're after, Peter, and we see him put a bag in a cupboard. Gracie heads to get her water glasses, but the girls have all been drinking the water.
That was quite funny.
So instead she heads out, she's like, yeah, I was going to do something else, but the girls got dehydrated. It's kind of a good line. And now, this is probably some of the best acting for me here. Because it's obviously on a stage in front of lots of people.
Yeah.
With a screen behind you, and I think she does really well. She does this self-defense bit, battering Matthews. She's mugging to the crowd. And there's this whole thing. Oh, I think Ewicky's scared. is a really cute thing. Meanwhile, the son takes the tiara to shine it up. Sounds like he's wanking on it. No. The girls get announced. California, Rhode Island, Nebraska, Gracie, and Texas.
Again,
New York doesn't make it, but she does run to the front and screams, if a lesbian can make it to the top 10, so can any lesbians. And he's like, can we say lesbian on the air? The guy in the control room. And the woman in front of him, quite blatantly, but she's like, you got a problem with that? I was like, I love her. Like, she's only got a couple of lines, and whilst he's really weak and feeble, right. she's got the power. Next up is the interview. What would you say to someone who says that this is outdated and not feminist? Well, I used to be one of them until I met these wonderful women. For me, this experience has been one of the most liberating and fulfilling experiences of my life. And if anyone tried to hurt my new friends, I would hurt them. And if they ran, I would hunt them down and kill them. It's fucking brilliant.
Simple.
Yeah. And as we get into the final round, it's got to be the final lot of patrons. Miss, I have no idea who you are, but we're really grateful for your money, James. Miss, only here for the Simpsons references, Kieran. Miss East Bolden, watch your wallet, it's Dale. Miss, I don't know where Meg's from, but her boyfriend's from Germany, and he's really lovely. And Miss Fall and Pumpkin Spice, it's our Joe.
Oh, little Joe.
There you go. So thank you very much. If you want me to make some shit up about you, give us a quid, and I'll do that. Backstage, the girls say Frank took the crown to be polished. Gracie tries to explain to Vic it's the crown with the bomb in, but gets dragged away. They go out in this order: California, Nebraska, Texas, and then Gracie, and the winner is Cheryl. Oh, Texas, by the way, does this like shrug thing as if to say, I was sleeping with you to win it.
Aye, yeah.
It's absolutely the whole thing, isn't it?
Well, she got through all the way. She wasn't in that bra, to be fair.
Oh, mate, no. Other than Sandy, she's the winner. Yeah, no, other than Sandy, but the things she likes when they're talking about, the things she likes is, and eating as much Mexican food as she can. I'm kind of like, okay. All right, miss, I've got nothing about myself. Gracie tells her not to take the crown, but she can't hear her. Gracie tries to get her and ends up fighting security. She grabs the crown, rips it off of her hair, fights another girl. And when Gracie grabs the crown, Morningside presses the detonator, but not before Gracie throws it backstage and blows up the whole of the set. Yeah. Because the set is like Statue of Liberty, isn't it? And by the time she's thrown it, it looks like the end of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. No.
You idiot, Morningside! You're blowing up, goddamn you, Morningside! I love you, Dr. Zeus. Morningside gets thrown in the cop car by Gracie. The line is, before I got my hands on you, Dennis Rodman looked better in a dress than you. I'm not doing the Dennis Rodman in a dress thing. It's quite blatantly a mental health issue that wasn't taken care of particularly well because we didn't look after our sports people at the time. Matthews approaches Gracie and suggests that they have dinner, a casual dinner, and if we happen to have sex afterwards, so be it. You think I'm gorgeous, you want to fuck me or something. I don't know. You want to marry me. I mean, steady on, girl.
I know.
You want to send me into space with George Clooney. Next day, she's back at in the agent gear. She's like, yeah, I really missed. I thought the heels were really good for my posture, and I really liked the way my boobs looked. And Matthew's like, I like the way your boobs look. Vic grabs her and says, look, we found an incendiary device. You've got to come in. They go into the breakfast after the show. Cheryl drags her up on stage. She says, you're a federal officer, but you'll always be Gracie Lou Freebush. Fucking hell, I didn't mention Gracie Lou Freebush at all, which is the name she makes up. You'll always be Gracie Lou Freebush, the coolest, sweetest, funniest girl at the pageant, and this year's Miss Congeniality. And John, I'm not kidding, mate. With 5 minutes left, I assume we were never saying the title of the film. I assume nobody was winning the film this week. But here we are. The film has been won. Thank fucking goodness.
I know.
Yeah. We, of course, know what Miss Congeniality means because you told us at the top of the show. Gracie gets a sash because she's a dirty proddy and says she's honoured and moved and truly touched. And she really does want world peace, and she cries, you and me both, lass. You and me both. More she's a lady and a freeze frame, and it's the movie, John. It's the movie.
Done and done.
War. Now, have you got any facts? I'm pretty sure I've got some left.
So there's 50 states, but there's 51 spots in the Miss America Beauty Pageant.
Oh, right. Wow.
Because apparently the District of Columbia is classed as one.
Oh, right. Okay. Very good. Yeah, that kind of answers why everyone always says 50 states, and I always thought there's 52 states. Of course.
And the director's at Donald Petrie.
Oh, yeah, I got some shit on him. Yeah.
So I just looked at the forms and says, shite. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Richie Rich and Grumpy Old Men. I was like, all right, nah.
Yeah, I also had he started well with Mystic Pizza and Grumpy Old Men, Richie Rich, my favourite Martian with Christopher Lloyd, and the film that caused Hackman to quit, John, Welcome to Mooseport.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's me, Ray Romano.
Is that the one that caused him to...
Yeah. That's where he just went, do you know what? Fuck it. I've won 2 Oscars. Fuck it. I do not need to do this.
You fucking want to work with that clown?
Mate. Hey, Raymond. I'd rather work with your big brother, Raymond. Yeah. Or what about Petrie? Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Any others?
That's it, mate. I'm done.
Cool. Borscht is a sour soup made with meat, stock, vegetables and seasoning, common in Eastern Europe and North Asia. The one we know is Ukrainian borscht because it's made with beetroot.
Right. Borscht beetroot.
Tasty, you know, the pig one.
Yeah.
Wash it down with lots of vodka. According to injuryfacts.com.org, choking is the 4th leading cause of unintentional injury or death. Of the 3,000 people who died from choking in 2020, 1,430 were older than 74.
Like a murder death kill?
In the UK. Like, yes,
What's your
exactly like that. Chip-faced. I missed chip-faced. San Antonio, Texas is the 7th most populous city in the United States. Miss Lamar's was a thing, wasn't it? Oh, unless you wanted to be Miss Lamar's, the pregnant. The Lamar's technique, also known as the psychoprophylactic method, or simply Lamar's, began as a paired childbirth technique as an alternative to medical intervention. The goal of Lamar's is to build a mother's confidence in her ability to give birth through classes that help pregnant women understand how to cope with pain in ways that both facilitate labour and promote comfort.
Lamar's.
There you go. Labour and comfort, those things don't go together. One more from me. Novocaine. Novocaine is a local anaesthetic because she's getting her teeth done, isn't she?
Yeah.
Can you give me Novocaine? It's like, we're only cleaning your teeth. And she's like, no, for the guy with the hairbrush. He's like, I could spend a week and I won't get these logs out. Novocaine's a local anaesthetic and a registered trademark. Procaine is the name of the drug. Procaine.
Procaine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Mike Procaine. Mike Procaine. And the best kind of brush is free bush, but that's not really a fact, although it's true.
Yes.
Right, John, how many do you think we got? Well, I tot them up.
I don't think we've got 100.
Okay.
I'd say we got 87.
Higher.
97.
Oh, 95.
Hey!
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
I'm quite happy with that.
So if you like what we do, listeners, because we really like what we do, but we're the only people that we know that think we're funny.
Well, apart from that,
Please go on to our Patreon, patreon.com/100 things, and give us a quid, and we will give you a shout out and allow you to vote. If you just want to follow us on all our socials, we're all over the place, including Blue Sky now. Blue Sky. You can get us on our webpage, which is 100 things we learn from film.co.uk. John, we're going to be back next week, and we've actually decided which film for once.
yeah, we have for once. Do you remember
What
what
we
it
doing?
is? No, you tell
I
me.
do. Oh, you don't remember what it is?
No.
Shut up, you pie fucker.
Oh, fucking hell. Road Trip. No.
Yeah.
American Pie.
American Pie, which I'm pretty sure has aged deplorably.
Oh, but it's winding everybody
I'm pretty
up.
sure
I watch
garbage.
it. Yeah, I watch it.
Exactly. But we're going to watch it.
I just want
John,
to see Nadia one last time.
oh, of course you do. Yeah. John, say some lovely things to the lovely people and the non-lovely people.
Oh, well, lovely people, we love you. Non-lovely people, thank you for listening anyway. And be well.
Oh, very good.
So I did there.
So he did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I've been Planty, he's been John, and this has been 95 things. 95 things we've learned from the year 2000's Miss Congeniality. See ya.
See you guys.